And what we are going to do is we are going to continue from where we left off. Let us look at some more king and pawn endings. Okay. So let us look at this position. Okay. This position. What is your opinion? Uh, is it a draw? Is it a win for white? What happens if black is to play? What happens if white is to play? Okay, let me see who is answering. Okay, that is Srushti saying she will try it. Okay. But what is your opinion of this? And white to play, it is white wins. Okay, Abhinav thinks it can win. Madhura also thinks white can win. That is interesting. And what about if if black is to play? Oh, everybody is thinking white is going to win. Saish also, I mean Sai Pranav also, Ahan also. Okay, I guess you are saying that if white is to play, it is white will win. So Srushti also thinks. Okay, so I think it's if it is black to play, white wins. Okay, Madhura is saying it is the other way around. If it is black to play, then white wins. And if what if white is to play? Madhura? So Madhura, what if it is white to play? In which case black has got the opposition. Okay, so very interesting. So let us, why don't you, I am going to now play against all of you. Okay, I am going to take black's position. All of you can discuss together and play white also. Let me open the chess base. Now let us see how do you defeat me. I am going to be the humble black person in this. Okay, let us set up the position. Okay, d3 pawn, white pawn on d3, white king on c3, black king on. So I will assume that it is black's turn to move, so that white has got the opposition. Okay, so that is what, let us put it. And I am playing black here. Okay, just to show that it is, I am not even having the opposition. Okay, so I'm going to play black. You suggest how white moves. All right, for first move is this. Now suggest a move for white, d4. Okay, I don't think there is anything else than this one. So any other move is not going to make progress. So d4 is the only way. Okay, fine. Everybody agrees d4. So I play king to d6. Okay, now you play king c4. Everybody agrees king c4 is a better move. Okay, I think everybody is saying king c4. Fine. So now I play king c6. d5. Everybody is saying d5, d5, d5. Okay, I say d5, then king d6. Okay, Abhinav is saying king d4. King c5 cannot be played, Ansh, because it will be proximity to the king. So king d4 is the only one. Okay, fine. Now what I do is I simply go to king d7. Now king e5. Abhinav wants to come king e5. Okay, it's a good idea to come from this side. Try to. So king e5. Fine. I'm black. I simply play king to e7 opposition. d6. Okay, all right. d6. Fine. Check. King to d7. King to d5. Obviously, that is the only move to protect the pawn. Otherwise, it is lost. King to d8. Okay, let us see. Madhura is now changing her opinion. Let us see. Okay, some people are saying king to c6. King. Some people are saying king to e6. Because there are enough files on either side, it doesn't really make a difference. It would make a difference only if it was like a edge side. But since it is not, I'm going to try out king e6. And the same thing happens on king on c6 also. I just go to king e8. Okay. Yeah, it's a draw, right? It is a draw. Now it is getting it that it's a draw, right? Because the pawn, if it moves ahead with a check, you remember that it's going to be a draw because it will go to stalemate, right? So yeah, I think everyone agrees for a draw, but it didn't appear like that, right? And some of you were thinking if it is white to move, if it is black to move, what will happen, etc. But I think remember in this position, if black knows how to draw, right, then it is always a draw. Okay, and I think it's one more finesse that you need to I will tell when it is a win, but in this position, irrespective of whether it is white to play or if it is black to play, doesn't matter. With right defense, it is always a draw. Okay, so do you believe it or you think it is not? If white is to play, this last time I played, so do you think if white is to play, it will become a win for white? No, right? I don't think anybody thinks like that. Okay, fine. So it is a draw. So I think what you have to remember is, yeah, like end game, king has to be in front, but not just anywhere in front. So what happens is, uh, as long as the pawn has not reached the sixth rank, okay, anywhere when the pawn is up to fifth rank, fourth rank, third rank, second rank, there is from calling from white side, but you can say correspondingly is from the black side also. But you know, as long as the pawn is not 2 steps away from queening, it is at least 3 steps away, which means that it is here, white pawn is here or black pawn is in the fourth rank. Okay, as long as that is the case, then the critical squares that are two, not first row, second row from the pawn, the 3 squares, one directly in front and the 2 side squares, if any of those squares white can occupy, white king can occupy, then white can win. Okay, so this is the thing. I will not try to explain it because it is more complicated, but this is a rule. Maybe kind of like you can by heart it right now, because right now by heart it because you don't know the proof, but maybe in later or maybe in L3 you will know the proof of why this happens and why this is only up to when the pawn is 3 steps away from the, up to 3 steps away. When the pawn is 2 steps away, there is some special thing that happens. Why? What happens is, you know, that the black king is forced to make a side move instead of going back because the edge of the board he reaches, and hence whenever the pawn is 2 squares away from queening, then the corresponding squares become not this, but this directly in front of the pawn. That is what happens if the pawn is 2 squares away from it. Okay, so this is what you should remember. And right now the pawn is so many squares away from the king, so obviously, so from queening, so obviously the squares that are critical for white to gain entry are these squares. As long as black is not allowing the white king to occupy these squares, black is safe. Okay, and there is a technique of achieving it, but which is what I think I played. I hope you have got it. So that is the way to actually draw or to win. So remember, if you are trying to win, you should be trying to reach one of these squares. If you reach this, then the game, it is easy to win. Okay, all right. I think some things of this will become clear only when you practice hard and these ones. So let it be. Okay, now let us take this position. Okay, and there are a lot of hints onto it. So let me know, what do you think will happen in this game? Doesn't matter whether it is white to play, black to play, in this position now which I have highlighted. Okay, Abhinav, everybody is thinking that white will win. Yeah, and you are right. And I think how that will win is also explained with those arrows. Okay, so this is a concept called as outside passed pawn. Okay, actually in this position, if you see the position materially, it is perfectly equal, Black has got 3 pawns, white has got 3 pawns. White has got 1 pass pawn, black has got 1 pass pawn. Otherwise, the kings are almost at the center. Everything seems to be equal, but yet white wins it. And why? Because there is this concept called as outside passed pawn. So what happens is, in the end game, there are these 3 pawn islands. There is 1 pawn island which has got 2 black pawns, 2 white pawns. It is blocked. Okay. Then there are individually 2 pawns are there which are passed pawns, and passed pawns, you know, are ones where no other opposition pawn can block it or kill it. Okay, if that is the case, then it is called as a passed pawn. That means it has got very easy freedom movement. It is not in danger of being exchanged by another pawn, right? So that is called as passed pawn. So now both passed pawns are there, but what is outside pass pawn? Why it is called outside? Because compared to this pawn island, which is the major, all the major pawns are in this pawn island. This white pawn is outside and the black pawn is relatively inside, right? So okay, so Pranav, you have learned this. Good. I think so. Yeah, we'll see this, what happens and why white wins in this. Okay, why the outside pawn thing. So let us take this position. Okay, so what is the thing? There is a pawn on e5 and there is a pawn on h4. Okay, and then okay, so let us take this position. Set up, clear board. There is a white pawn on h4. There is a black pawn on e5. There is a white pawn on b4 and a5. There is a black pawn on here. Black king is here and white king is here. Okay, what we will say is, let's give the move to black. Okay, just to give some more advantage. Even then we'll say that it is not. Okay, doesn't matter what. And what somebody is saying, what if behind white pawn? Okay, Om is saying, what if the black king goes behind the white pawn? So let him go. So I think, so you play Om, you suggest the move. What, it is black's turn to move. You decide what you want to move. King f6 or Sai Pranav is suggesting king f6, but you tell. You want to go to the against the other white pawn? Yes, you have to go to king f6. Right? Okay. So now see what happens. White will say, okay, take my pawn. Come and take it, but you can't take it remotely. You have to come closer, right? Now what? Now what is the black's move? No, king f6 is already there. Now again it is white has played h5 now. Are you saying king g5 or g7? You have to tell what is black's move. King g7. Okay, Madhura is saying king g7. Okay, so white takes this pawn. Now king h6, correct. King h6 is the only way, otherwise this pawn itself might queen, right? So white plays king to d6. Now obviously you have to take the pawn, right? There is no point. Fine. So king c6, king here, king here, king here, take this, king here, take this, king here, take this. Doesn't matter now. You saw why this happened? Because black king had to go all the way to the, doesn't matter where it is. Yeah, it is okay. After killing here, you came here. When I take this, doesn't matter. What do you think? This is going to be any difference? This is it. Very easy to queen the pawns, right? So, and they are connected. Even if the white king was not nearby, they would have still won. Okay. So you saw why it happened. What outside pawn made the thing is that, see, white also has to eliminate black pawn, but black pawn is closer to the other pawn islands while the white pawn is away from the islands. So black king will have to go away in order to prevent the white pawn from queening or to kill it, while the white king has to be much closer to the black's pawn island, and hence after that, once the both the pawns are eliminated, then white has got a shortcut to the black position, right? Versus the black king has got a very long way to come. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. You don't need two queens. So normally you should not. I mean, the general thing is that you should win with the least material that you need. So in case this such a position happens, obviously I will just queen one pawn and then checkmate rather than queening both. Okay, fine. So, but I hope you got the idea of what is the outside passed pawn and how it interacts. Okay, so this is very important because see, seemingly equal positions. That's why end games are so interesting and so important. Yeah, correct. So that if, okay, let me just give you one, this one. So what if you said that somebody might say, okay, this is the, if this is what happens, then I don't want to go to the side. Okay, I don't want to go to thing. Okay, king f6 is fine, first move. But after that, what if I don't want to h5? Okay, fine, h5. I don't want to come to king g7. Let us say I want to come to king e6 again. Okay, do you think can the black king has any option like this? It does not. He does not, because this pawn will move ahead. So you will have to come. Pawn will go here. So you will have to come here. The moment you come here, white takes it, and you will have to take it. After that, white goes like this. Black comes here. White comes here. Black comes here. White comes here. Black comes here. White takes here. You take it here. You take it. Even then it doesn't help. It doesn't help. White can simply play this, and these two passed pawns are going to be simply rolling down, okay, with the help of the king. So there is no option in this position. It is not that black made some mistake. Okay, it is a theoretically it is a lost game for black, and theoretically it's a one game for white, provided they know what to do. Okay, so I hope all your questions have been cleared with respect to this position, okay, and of the outside passed pawn. So now this is a very interesting position. This is the position we'll have to answer. It is white to move, okay. It is not a random thing. It is white to move, okay, and you will have to tell A, is it white winning or drawing or losing, and second is what is the best move for white in this position. White loses. Abhinav thinks white loses. Okay. And why is that? Uday thinks white wins. Sai Pranav thinks it's a white loss or a draw. Arohi, what is your assessment? But okay, you told the move, but what is your assessment? Okay, I think, yeah, I think Arohi has got it. Okay, because it's a white to win. Okay, white has got a clear win in this position. And okay, now Arin also thinks, and this one also thinks. Many people now think white is going to win. But yeah, I think Arohi gave the right move also, which is knight crosses c6. Exchange the knight at c6, and after that it's a white win. Okay, if you remember why, again same thing like previous position. First of all, white king is under check. Okay, so it is not that arbitrarily any move you can make. So white exchanges the knights at c6. Black pawn has to take it at c6. After that, white king will come to c5, attacking the pawn. Black king will have to defend the pawn by going to either b7 or c7, right? And after that, can you see the position very similar to the previous one? There is an outside passed pawn that is white's. It is on a2 right now. It is far backward, but doesn't matter. A passed pawn is a passed pawn. No, I think not f5 is wrong. I think here it is all c5 or this one. So yeah, it is an outside passed pawn, and the same thing will happen. White will push the pawn, Okay, and black king will get diverted to stop and capture that pawn on the A file, by which time white will capture the C pawn, and then from C pawn to reach F7 is much shorter for white than for the black king to come to the defense. So you can see obviously, right? I mean, white will be two more squares away from white. So he takes two more moves, and that is not enough. So white king will first come to F7, kill it. F7 pawn cannot advance, even though there are three pawns of black on the king side. See what is the position. None of the black pawns can advance. The moment they advance, then the white will kill that pawn and become a pass pawn which cannot be stopped, either on F6 or H6. So here, this is a position where, as you might have seen, black is one pawn ahead, but just because of the position and the outside pass pawn, white is winning this. Absolutely winning, means there's no chance. It is like clear cut. Okay. You want, so this is the power of the outside pass pawn. If you want to see this, I can probably put this very quickly onto the setup. If you want to see, clear board, white pawn here and here, black pawn on, sorry, F7 I meant, not F2. Black king was here, white pawn was on A2, black knight was on C6 defended by the B7 pawn, white knight was attacking it, and white king was in this position. Obviously it was white to move, right? Okay, so this is the position. What we saw is black is one pawn ahead, but after this exchange, right, what can black create a pass pawn of his own on this side because he has three pawns versus white's two? No, because of the particular way that his pawns have been locked up by white. The white pawn on G5 is essentially curtailing any of movement of these two pawns. So black has got no option to create counterplay. So he has no option other to defend. And now it's the mighty white outside passed pawn. Doesn't matter what you do. If you come here, doesn't matter. This is the position. You come back here, doesn't matter. At this point of time, black will have to go here. Otherwise he can wait, but he cannot wait also too much. So yeah, he will have to go here. And then white takes this pawn, black comes here, and white too late, right? Nothing, no option, no other possible, no other move. Does anybody has any other moves to suggest? I don't think any of them. See, just look at this position first before. So once the pawn is pushing ahead, doesn't matter what happens. See, white has moved this. No other option. Is there any other option for black? Let me see if somebody is thinking about some moves. King b8. Okay, let us try king b8. The idea is king b8 is in fact probably loses even earlier. White will simply take this pawn. Now black king will have to attack. Yeah, it is similar. It is similar. White will simply go here. You take this, doesn't matter. Right? So that is what it is. Okay, so this is the power of the outside passed pawns. Okay. Okay, so very important. We learned about opposition. We first learned the rule of the square, then zugzwang, sacrificing to get opposition, importance of opposition. Then we looked at some critical squares here. What are the critical squares for a pawn? See, lone path passed pawn is there, then you should know what are the critical squares. Then we looked at the concept of outside passed pawns. Okay, and now there are some more examples, but I suggest that you try these out. Visually it is all shown what is the thing, so I will not be discussing this in the next class, but this is left to you as working through. You can take this position, play it from both sides. If white is to play, consider then what will happen, then take the same position, then consider black is to play, then what will happen, and just learn from it. See here again I have shown that the ideas I've shown it with the arrows. Okay, so that is what is your homework to learn. And yeah, so with that I think we complete this lecture as well as our study of the basic ideas behind the pawn end games. Okay, simple pawn end games. There are much more complicated things to come. So pawn end games is itself is something that you can learn for 1 year. Okay, completely. Okay, and yeah, it is that much. In fact, there is one big fat book, how much, about 300-400 pages book is there, called Encyclopedia of Pawn and Games. The book contains only about 2 kings and some pawns, 1 pawn, 2 pawn, 3 pawn, 4 pawn, whatever it is, but only pawns, no other pieces. And there is an entire this much book is dedicated to that. Okay, so that much is there to study. I'm not saying that you should do that right now, but yeah, if you become a grandmaster, then you would have to know that much. Okay, all right, so I think so that is what it is. And so if you don't have any questions, then we will close the class and we'll go back to our practice games on the lichess. It is only not just pawn, not just end games, it is only pawn end games, Sadhna. Pawn end games, just king, both kings and some pawns, no other pieces, no bishops, no knights, nothing. Okay, just on that there is a 400-page book. Okay, so yeah, all right, okay then, bye bye, and see you practice on the lichess. Okay, I am ending it now.